Yo, 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 yo. What's up, all you burners, stoners, and potheads, and especially all you gardeners out there? This is Mr. Wee Man and Big Earl with the Grow Hour. Big Earl, my brother, how the hell are you?
What's up? I'm doing really well, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you keep on introducing me to new friends I get to smoke out with. We have a good friend on right now, UFO Genetics. How you doing, brother?
Not too bad, my man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Glad to have you on the show. I'm looking forward to getting to know you and smoking out with you right now because we're going to do our smoke sesh. And Big Earl, since you already lit up, what are you smoking?
Some Nightmare OG.
Is that the new one? Is that the new line?
No, I don't have the line. But that's definitely going to be my next femme project, the Nightmare OG lady. Super OG, really nice. Breed some structure into that OG flavor, you know. But what are you smoking on?
Nightmare OG. That sounds fucking fire.
I'm smoking on some brandy pie that you brought over to his house a couple weeks ago.
Nice. How you like it? That was the number 3, I think I brought you. More grapey.
This is the first time I'm smoking it, and I tell you what, it tastes good in this fucking wrap I'm smoking it in, and it smokes real nice. Flavor's really good, and the high I will find out in about 15, 20 minutes. UFO, what are you smoking on, my brother?
I'm smoking on some Dark Side. So
Ooh.
Dark Side is Platinum S1 from In-House times Sugarcane times Gravity.
Nice. I like the
Cherry
name.
Pie Kush, Grateful Breath times the Sugarcane and reverse to the Platinum. So it's technically a fem line. I just haven't dropped it yet. I've been selecting and, do what you got to do.
Oh, yeah.
I like the name. Is it a Star Wars reference or just because when you go to the dark side,
I was actually
you never come
watching
back?
what was it, the Marvel movie or something like that, and Dark Side. And I was like, Dark Side, and like all the underside of the leaf is like purple. I was like, Dark Side. I was like, wow, like that would be a cool fucking name, man.
I love it. Now the question is, did it have red hairs? Because Dark Side shoots fucking red lasers out of his eyes.
Oh yeah, no, she's gorgeous.
That's just a nerd in me. Sorry. That's just a nerdy in me. So, Big Girl, man, this brandy pie is good as fuck.
Yeah,
he's
nice.
lit. He's lit over there.
I like it. I like it a lot. So
I ended up having 2 of them, and that one was a little bit more on the berry side. The other one had like the original Perps was, to me, when I originally smoked Perps, it was more of an earthy flavor than a berry flavor to me. And that was a long time ago, like 2003, 2002. So maybe that was the cultivar or the dude who was growing the weed or whatever. And so the other brandy pie reminded me more of the old school Perps, and then that one had more of the berry in it. So I ended up going with the 3 with that one.
I'm gonna smoke this in my vaporizer that I got just to get even more of the flavor. Yeah, I really want to try it in this vaporizer. I think I showed you over the house.
Now, are you guys gonna use solventless or solvent? What do you guys prefer when you're?
We talking hash? I strictly just do hash pressed, or if you make it cold water and then press it, I love that too. I mean, I've smoked a lot of Jamaican hash, Moroccan hash in the late 80s, 90s. So, I mean, I know what that is like and that about, and you can't get that here anymore. I have not seen it in years. But the hash they're making today is fucking so tasty, so delicious. It's just, I don't do wax. I don't do shatter. It's just not my thing. I'm very sensitive to butane. So I can taste it no matter what. I smoke
no matter what you try to do to take it out of it, it's still there.
I still taste it, just like metallic. I could taste a beer that has very metallic taste to it. It's just sensitive to a couple things. I smoked cigs for 20 plus years. So how much butane, as much as I tried to use matches, you still find yourself using a lighter. So you know how much butane I've tasted in my time. So as soon as I taste butane, I know it's there. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people say,
I'm getting sick.
Yeah, so it's just it ruins my palate. So, but when you're smoking just really the hash they're making now, it's so terpy and so fucking flavorful. And you pop the cap open, you could smell it from across the room. So I'm impressed with the hash makers nowadays. The good ones.
I like hash and flower. I mean, I'll dabble in dab and stuff like that, but I like the flavor and I like to look at the plant.
Yes, there's nothing better than flower power forever. Flower power forever.
Exactly.
But to be able to taste this strain, Earl, that you grew, I sometimes in paper I don't get the taste as good as I want, so I do use a vaporizer to see what it really truly tastes like.
Sure.
And
or a nice clean glass when you're smoking on
bong rips all day. Yeah, you got a clean bong or a clean bowl, 100%.
Yeah, you're golden. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. So, what do you make your own hash too, or are you just doing straight flour? Are you doing a little bit?
We do flour, we do hash. I press. We do use solvents. We do a various of things. I like smoking, so.
I mean, we wouldn't be on this show talking right now.
You know what I mean? Like, do I want to keep, like, if it's something really beautiful, I'll keep it as flour. Or if I really think it's going to be like a really good, like, hash, like bubble hash or, like pressing or something like that. But if it's just like a regular plant or something like that, I'll just blast it. I can get rid of it quicker,
Nice. Yeah. I mean, so I'm going to ask you more, but before we start talking like the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love, who the fuck is UFO Genetics, though? Who the fuck are you? We didn't even introduce you yet. We got into some good convo. So who the fuck are you, man?
Well, East Coast, been growing since 97. Really, really got into it around 2015, 14, 16, somewhere around there. So it's what I love doing. Working on a farm, working with plants, it really brings out, inspiration sometimes. From less likelihood of where, you're working and it doesn't dawn on you until after the fact. You're like, wow, I really do love what I'm doing. Like, it's not even work. You don't even consider it work because it's not work.
If you love what you do, it's not work.
You'll never work a day in your life.
No, you get to love a plant every day, and the plant loves you back. So we talked before the episode, before we started recording. Your love for the plant, I could tell, because you were telling me that you love the plant more than you love human beings. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people out there that love something more. Right. So, I mean, I could tell how much you love this plant and plants in itself. That's amazing because, I mean, you've been doing it since 97, hence probably in your early teenage years, right? And the love, the love for the plant is still in you from 97. You're almost 30 years into it. Let's just say, almost 30
looking
years.
at something that you've created or grown, and you can just kind of guide the plant into what you want it to look like by thinking about what you want the plant to look like. I guess it's just like you said, like a love type of thing where you just kind of project what you want this plant to fucking look like.
When did you know, like, this was it? Like, this was your career. This was what you really wanted to do. Like, when did you feel it? Like the moment you started? Because I know there's trials and tribulations in everything, and anybody does. There's a point where you probably threw a couple flower pots against the wall and said "fuck you," but then you saw what you were doing.
A couple moments, yeah. There's a big couple moments you're just is this even worth it? But that's when the truth comes out. What you like doing.
So you felt it in your heart to like say, this is it. This is all I want to do is raise babies, raise plants.
Not like the only thing I want to do. You know what I mean? It's certainly a big passion. But you know what I mean? Like, it can't be like the primary of all things because I like doing an array of things. I mean, I let it consume me, but it's not like it's, the whole consumption. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I got you. I feel you.
I like doing clothing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, like there's also a lot of other different passions I have, and I try to incorporate everything to work like a machine.
I like it, but it's all dealt around your brand.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I work everything together, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, why not?
Right. So we've gone 2 episodes about breeding, and we just went over before the seeds, and then we went in. So we gave people before the seeds. We gave them like the body, not even the body. They'll just say the legs, right? And then making the seeds the body. Now the seeds are made and dried and ready to be separated. So now we want to give people the head. This is yours. This is about you. So Big Earl, I know nothing. I'm a rookie when it comes to this. So, and I've been learned so much from the last 2 episodes. So this makes me more excited. I get to sit back, smoke some more weed, and listen to Big Earl
who
and
was
you.
the 2 episodes prior? Who was on that?
We had Seattle Chronic, and we had Scapegoat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
So
good
we
people.
had like 2 other OGs on, like Ocean Grown, straight up Ocean Grown, you know, because you're both, you know.
Vader?
So we had
You
some
Vader
guys.
on?
No, did we? No.
What was that? Who?
Ocean Grown Seeds, Vader?
No.
Oh,
I'm just
no.
saying we had 2 OGs on.
Oh,
You guys are
geez, my
OGs, you know. That's all right. You know, and then you. So I mean, 30 plus, almost 30 plus years. But all 3 of you are up there.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope, you know. So Big Earl, I love it. I'm fucking when Earl and I, we practice every Sunday night together. You know, every Sunday night, 8:00, boom, 9:00 his time. We're on talking about the show for about a good hour, getting baked. And he was so geeked to have these 3 episodes. We sat like 2 months ago. I'm like, we need to do something on breeding. We've done a lot on growing and a little bit on breeding, but we need to. And he was like, I got the peeps. I got them. And he was so geeked to have the 3 of you on. I mean, every week he's like, I can't wait. I'm like, all right, I'm excited.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
So Big Earl, I'm going to sit back and relax and listen.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming on. I've been having a ton of fun. It's kind of crazy too, because like even like looking at kind of like our outline here, and I was just talking about somebody, and maybe you can, because separating your seeds from a plant material, right? Like there's a lot of different ways to do it, and for the first time I heard of I didn't catch like a country or any of that, but somebody taking seeds, taking the plant material that somebody was shipping somebody's seeds, right? And it was outside the U.S. It was like inter, you know, continental. And they collected this plant material and tested it, and then you know I didn't hear pressing charges or not, but it's like whoa, like cleaning these seeds might be a little bit more vital than even we're thinking right now. So what do you like to do to separate your seeds? You know, is there any to dry them? One of the things I go through is like trying to get them extra dry, you know, and things like that. Any advice there?
Yeah, no, I definitely wait until the plant's like super, super dry to harvest. I chuck that shit by hand like this. We we rub our hands together, get those seeds out, and let them dry out for like another week. And then I have this machine. Um, it'll separate the plant material from the seeds, and even the crappy seeds will go into another section. And it's really it has to be done like that because otherwise you're hand picking and
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
yeah.
It's just not gonna work.
I mean, even I grow like in a 2x4 tent, the seeds, like my little breeding. I do not make very many compared to a lot of people. Hand sorting that was impossible. That was not a task
Right.
I could like do, you know.
Right. Now they sell these machines on like eBay and stuff. That's where I got mine. It's literally a machine. It's probably like 14 inches tall, maybe 10 inches wide, and you put the seeds into it, and there's like a little fan that's sucking all the plant material that's lighter than the seeds. The seeds fall down, and it's really simple machine.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone could probably make one themselves if they went to YouTube or something.
Yeah, that's what I ended up. I had like a duct, a very light, you know, like a duct air mover, like way underpowered, like the drums than what we usually have. And I bought like a couple Y pieces and a fashioned one. It works pretty well though, you know. But yeah, that
All it
was
takes is a little current, and it's just like,
well,
you know,
drying them out.
it's
to me, I was surprised at how important that was. And what I do is I dry the flower, and then I break it up when after its normal 2 to 3 weeks of drying, and then I dry that another 2 or 3 weeks roughly. But I found after I break it up and then let it sit out a little longer, it gets way drier. Have you ever done anything like that? Yeah.
Kind of wait, especially if you're breaking it up and it's just not breaking up, it's kind of rolling into balls. That's when I kind of stop and just let it dry even more.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Otherwise,
it's
you're
such.
just hiding seeds within like little clusters of bud and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's not really worth it because you're losing, and then you're doing more work to get those seeds down, and
Yeah. Yeah, when it's like a little too wet. It's like,
you're
oh
just like,
shit.
damn, that's gonna be work later.
Yeah.
That's gonna be work later.
100%. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's you think, and even drying it. Like I have to dry my normal dry. I hang my plant upside down, but with the seeded plants, I have a net. Because I don't care how my buds look with the seeded plants.
Right.
And then when the seeds fall out, I can just be like, hey, I know what fucking strain this is because this is the level it was on. Do you do anything like that, or you hang dry it and then? Because I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'll hang them up like once they're like, when you cut them down, you hang them up, but I don't usually have a net underneath them.
yeah. I don't think it doesn't catch that many seeds, but I didn't know if I was being like anal about it, like
No, it's,
every little seed.
yeah, I ever see cows, man.
uh, do you let those rest? Do you give like introduce them to a cold period, or there's so many things people talk about, like your seeds are down,
Yeah,
and like
I don't. I consider that winterizing. Once you
yeah.
take a seed out of winterization, you have to throw it in water or get it germinating.
So
Otherwise, the vitality of the seed goes down. I try to keep them in a cool place. I don't try to keep them in like a fridge or something or a freezer.
if you're storing something in the fridge and
As soon as
you're
you take it out, it's kind of like when what happens in the spring and fall and stuff. Seeds
yeah,
fall
sure,
off the tree, goes through the dormant stage with winter, and spring it comes up. As soon as it hits, as soon as you take it out and it warms up, you have to pop.
yeah. So you think like a
So I think
tote?
that's kind of like like I mean you can do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
me personally, I don't keep them super cold.
No, I mean that makes a ton of sense, and then it also means like because I keep it depends on my collection. If I have a ton of breeders packs, I keep them out of a fridge. If I've only got a few, I throw them in a fridge. Um,
I've
but
seen your fridge bigger. I've seen
yeah,
your fridge.
a little mini fridge for it. But most of my packs aren't in my fridge. Most of my packs are in my totes. Do you think a decently dry basement, 60 50 55 to 65 degrees probably, around about 55-60% humidity, is that what you're
I
talking
think
like?
yeah, I think that's
Yeah, okay.
good.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What happens if you had your seeds in the fridge? Like I pheno hunt and bought some seeds and I put them in my fridge, and the fridge is around 42 degrees. Let's just say, can I take them out and put them in a different storage spot, or they're stuck in there? Like, would it hurt the seed if I put them in a different fridge? Like that maybe might have been maybe the accurate
I mean, a
temperature it
different
should
fridge
be
I
at.
don't think would do any difference, but I think taking them out of an environment that's been close to 40 degrees for X amount of time,
Just keep them there.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
fine.
do it because like as soon as
I
moisture gets around the seed, because now it's being taken out of the cold, and you
right.
got condensation around the seed, and that can cause bacterium. So now you're causing more like
Nope.
where if
That's
it's
I
in a
just
drier environment, it's not gonna have a lot of bacterium.
Perfect. So that means just leave it in the fridge. You have it in then. If it's set at
Yeah,
45 degrees, just keep them there, right?
I would.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I would.
If you give them to
Unfortunately,
somebody or sell them to somebody, make sure you say, hey.
No, because I mean, I grew a couple, and they grew fine. I got fucking great yields, great buds. You smoked it. One of them was the heat, Earl. So I mean, that was a good fuck. That was good. So I mean, I don't realize that you should have kept them like around 50, 55 degrees, 60 degrees versus where I had them in.
That's where I keep mine. I mean,
yeah,
people are gonna do whatever they want to do. You know?
Yeah, it makes sense. I was dumb.
I put my fridge at 45.
They still grew though. I still got weed. It's just
right,
like now, like if
it's considered winterizing, like
right,
you're keeping in a dormant stage where where if you keep it at a constant room temperature, you can pop them whenever. You can store them
right,
as long as possible. I mean, that's what Switzerland's doing with the seed bank.
right.
They have like what is it, 10 million seeds in this thing, and
Mm,
it's dug 40 miles into the earth or something like that.
Yeah.
It's super cold. Like they're
right.
winterizing because if anything bad happens to the world, you can go there and pop them.
Yeah. Bring that biology back.
No,
Right.
that makes sense. Like I said, so the seeds won't go bad is what I guess what I was saying too, because I have them in that cold of a fridge. Because I grew something and it grew great. So I mean, you just had to
What was it? What did you grow?
It was Yeet by Umami Seed Company.
Oh, nice.
So and it grew great. I got really good bud. But I could tell I had to like leave them in the water a day or two longer though.
Shell gets a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I noticed that it took like another day, then maybe 2 days normal to see that just crack open a little bit. You knew the seed was ready to put in the paper towel.
I'm like super excited with the project. I don't even let them dry. I let them dry for like 8 hours and throw them right in water.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they'll volunteer outside, like you'll have same season volunteers. Like,
right? I literally have a plant. I just take seeds and I throw them out there. If I find seeds in my bud, because when you're breeding, I guess you're flying around anyways. So I'll throw it outside, and I literally have a plant like this growing right now. And I'm like, it's been cold, it's been rainy. Like, I mean, yeah, we had a day where 77 degrees, but
still,
plants are pretty cool, man. They really are. They get a chance to freaking go. They
Right.
going, bro.
I
that kind of teaches you in life, like, if there's an opportunity, take it.
yeah.
Never look
I
at
don't
gift,
know.
gift horse or the mouth.
I did an autoflower this year. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this, and I threw a PVC little 5x5 piece of plastic over a PVC frame. I threw these autoflowers out early. It was like cold, like it snowed on this thing. And it snowed, but I had my dome there, and I was like, we're gonna just see what happens. And these things, I mean, they only grew 6 inches to a foot tall, but I got to go through a male selection process. Like, even though they were little, I got to be like, hey, this one's strong as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I only, I cut females down that I didn't want, and it was wild, and it was legit like 30 degrees out at some of the points. They go.
Strong.
It's pretty resilient, man. Like, it's just, it kind of shows, the human race, like, these things have been here forever. Ever. It's
Yeah.
Few
crazy,
million
man.
years.
It's crazy. Like,
few million years. Right?
you imagine being outside, surviving without moving, staying in one little spot. Like, I don't know about you, but I couldn't do that, man.
So give me some tips for somebody just starting out with packaging, ordering and shit like that. Like, it's got to be, I mean, I've seen some cool packaging from your breeders. I mean, I love it. You guys put some heart in your packaging, like your artistic form. Some of this packaging I've seen is pretty fire.
Yeah.
So somebody just starting out though might not be able to have that experience or money or know-how. But what was something like basic to start with?
Design, artwork, you know what I mean? Kind of tie it all together with what you want your overall package to look like. Try to be different than somebody else, try to be unique. But
Yeah.
I've seen some cool stuff.
yeah,
I have.
no, there's a lot of cool packaging
Yeah.
out there.
Because people save the packaging too. It comes a collector's item, because you might not ever get that seed ever again. That might be the only one they ever do. So there's some pretty cool artwork boxes that goes with some stuff. I've seen some dope ass shit that's been pretty good. It's blown me away.
kind of looking at it, you're like, wow, like, where do you come up with this?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? You have to think outside the box, you know? You
The
want to be like
cannabis
the next
community,
guy with the same thing, and
yeah, cannabis community is good with that. They're more than anything else, they tie art and creativity and uniqueness in to their passions for sure. And
right.
you see a lot of like even artists or even jewelers. I mean, will be like cannabis centered because they support
Because it
the
just all works
the art.
together, man. It's like
Yeah,
just perfect.
yeah, it goes well
You know,
together.
like I'll smoke and I'll make my music and stuff like that. Like you can go check out UFOincorporated.com. Scroll down to the bottom, you'll see music, and it's free to listen to. I give like little samples and stuff like that, and
Fuck
guys can
yeah,
comment and stuff like that. Like you said, it's music, jewelry, like clothing. Like, is this what do you really want to do with your life? You know what I mean? Do you want to work for somebody else or
Fuck
do what you
no.
love doing?
Jobs suck. You know what a job. You all want to know what a job stands for?
Dream killer.
That, but just over broke. You're just over broke when you work for somebody else.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
remember
Great,
that. Start your own side hustle and do your own thing. Trust me, you'll be a lot happier in life because time flies. I'm 51. I'm on the caboose of life right now. And I just look at it going, man, holy shit, 51. Holy fuck, that went by fast. Now you're looking at it like going, time fucking flew.
I just had a son last year. He's gonna be 2 this year.
You're a young,
Like,
you're a young daddy.
I'm like, wow, like 2 years, man, passed for this kid, and I'm like, wow, like he's accomplished so much, and you're just like looking at him, and he's just starting off, and I'm like looking at myself, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it puts time into perspective.
I'm gonna throw some at you. I'm an empty nester. Where's your
Crazy, man.
music?
It really is.
Right now is when you need to throw that music we talked about earlier, your sound effect.
Yeah.
I got you. Got you. I don't even know which one that was.
Empty nester, baby.
No,
but
2 years,
I mean, I mean, he's done she.
He's done a lot.
He's learned
2 years.
He came out. He was birthed. That's a lot. 9 months, and then came out. Just that work alone for him and mom, and then he had to learn to eat. He had to learn to sleep. He had to learn to
crawl,
crawl, and then walking.
That's in a 2-year span, and you're like, wow.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
It just kind of it puts life into perspective a lot more because time doesn't stop for anybody. Like it keeps moving forward.
It's the only thing that's relevant.
Spend what time is given to you wisely here because you're gonna look back one day and you're gonna be like, should have fucking could have would have.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy and be like, damn, I should have would have done this. No, I did that, man. I did that.
There you go. I love it. Teach your kid to do that though,
right?
Too. You know.
Exactly. I'm not doing all this just for myself.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Are you teaching him young about cannabis, about the plant? Is he allowed to see?
He comes down with me and he goes through.
I love it. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah! Thank you.
He's more interested in the fans and everything else.
That's whatever. The lights. He probably loves the lights. You know.
Yeah.
So good. Teach him.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of lessons
in the greenhouse with me during the spring and summer, and he'll pick and move the signs around. I'm like, no. Which one? Oh, I remember.
But Big Earl just said something really key and really clutch.
Yeah. There's a lot of lessons in that.
Yeah.
Not only lessons,
everything's a lesson, bro.
Lessons you can use like a ton of other areas. Like if you can grow weed, you can grow any flower, any fruit probably. You have the at least bare basics or more to grow any plant.
We do a garden, everything. So
Hell yeah.
He's gonna be good,
Is
man.
that, on your farm, do you have? Is it just a cannabis
Oh, I
farm?
worked on a farm, but I mean, we have about 2 acres of land, so we're gonna utilize most of the land for like farming and chickens and stuff like that. Like, yeah, he's got an area for his playground and stuff like that, but
That's everyone's.
you gotta be
That's
self-sufficient around here.
That's the dream right there. To be self-sufficient, not to rely on nobody. You teach him that now, he'll never rely on anybody in his whole entire life.
Right.
He'll do it all
Well,
himself.
I let him
Thanks,
do
Dad.
dangerous things,
Thanks,
but I
Dad.
let him do dangerous things in a controlled way where, if he gets hurt, it's not going to be like to the point where like he's breaking something. Like if he falls down, like you pick yourself back up. It's that simple. Like, I'm not going to be here forever, kid. You know what I mean? You got to be.
Too many kids are in the phones and video. Don't get me wrong, because I'm in them too. I like phones and I like video games and I like all of it. But too many kids, they didn't learn to get their hands dirty in the dirt. And if you got 2 acres and you're teaching your kids to farm already and teach them hands to get dirty, they're going to be self-sufficient by the time they're fucking 18 years old. They're not going to need anybody. So kudos to you, UFO. I think that's fucking genius.
Oh, he cries if he can't go outside. Like if it's raining, he wants to be outside. And I'm like sometimes we'll take him out when it's raining and shit, but it's like. It's wet, bro. I don't like being wet when I'm outside. Like,
I can't stand the rain. You know, I mean, I love the rain because it brings life, but I don't like like being out.
I understand why it's here, but please.
When you get rained on really hard, it's so demoralizing. I don't know if you've ever been in like a really bad storm and you're like every single square part of you is wet. But I've been caught in one of those not super long time ago, and when I got to the end of it, I was just like, wah wah. I was like, oh, man.
Working on a farm, bro, picking corn. You got to wear like these ducky boots and this plastic like overall type thing with the jacket and shit. Well, I mean, when it's downpouring, farming doesn't stop for nothing. Yeah. You could be lightning out there and you're still out there, bro. Like it's some serious shit.
Yeah.
And you're just sopping wet, bro. I mean, there's just mud and you're soaked. Like your clothes is soaked and you're in plastic. Like it just doesn't make any sense. But
take it off.
You know what I mean? Like we'll be doing that when spring comes around. Like we'll be out there, rain. I did it for 10 years.
Yeah, farming.
I'm going to show him what I had to do, and he's actually going to go work on that farm. I've already talked to my boss from that farm, and I'm like, when he's old enough and he's able to understand, what to do, I'm going to send him to you, and you can teach him how to drive tractors, like, on real farmland, and what farms are really about. And I think everyone should work on a farm.
Earl grew up in a farm.
I grew up. My grandparents had a horse farm, and it was like my 90% of my farm experience is in hay and fence posts.
I did hay too. That's some work. That is some work.
It's awful. And back then too, you'd like die from all the dust because you don't wear masks or anything. You got leather gloves with 16 holes in them. Because you get the shitty ones because you're fucking 14.
I remember doing it shirtless one day. This was like when I was first starting off, and it was just blistering outside. I was like, I can't be wearing a shirt, bro. They're like, you might want to wear something. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Not that you've been doing it for years. Yo, that was the first and last time I ever did that.
Super good.
Same with corn. It was like 98 degrees. Blistering heat, and we had to go pick some more corn. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oof.
Out there shirtless, picking. You're getting razor cuts until you get out of the corn, and then it really sets in with all the whatever the hell on corn, and it's just.
It's like
that pollen's rough too, isn't it? Corn, you get fucking go in those cornfields. That pollen will cover you, right? It's so fucking heavy. Right. Yeah, it is. It's a lot.
I mean, thick too. Like it'll stick to you. Like what the fuck?
Let's reel it in, Earl. What do we got?
Yeah. So let's. Okay. So back to seeds. What are some outlets you're finding for getting rid of seeds? Somebody's just making some seeds. They say, well, I got them tested. I think these are good enough to sell. What do you like? Anything besides we always talk about Instagram.
I don't try to sell on Instagram. Like I'll give shit away on Instagram,
Yeah.
But selling, you're talking about numbers in the chats and in the DMs, and Instagram's looking at all that shit. You know what I mean? They're all looking at that shit. Your messaging and all that shit ain't private. You try to do that in like emails or something like that, or you try to talk to the banks or something like that. Get their numbers so you can actually talk to them. Because I don't trust these media. That shit.
Yeah. They like to.
Yeah.
People like to sell information at places. I'm not saying anybody does or doesn't at places. I'm just saying they like to. So I don't.
Yeah.
I agree to things without, they have like 12 pages and I just hit agree at different moments of these updates. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
And you're like, what is this update about? And they're like, oh, well, security. And it's like, yeah, there goes some more of my freedom. It's for your protection.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I agree.
I'm not reading this still.
Nobody reads the fucking dotted line. We all do it. Probably 95% of the people in the world probably just hit I agree. 5% read it from head to toe.
Dude.
And that's how you get all these people.
What else?
Like, oh, well, you disagreed to this. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually building a like social media platform on the website. So it'll be kind of like a Facebook, Instagram type of match type thing together.
Sure.
But I think it'd be cool because pretty much from what I was reading about the agreements of the program is you pretty much get a platform that you can build and you can say what's you can put on and what you can't.
That's the one thing I do. That's the one thing I do. I do kind of like about Discord. You all get to go on there and post what you want to post. I do like that. I see Big Earl. He's with all of his different seed packs, information about the show, and I think it's I don't think it's the best out there. I don't know. I don't know about how it is selling seeds.
I don't
and
get
stuff.
Discord at all. I really don't. I have it. I don't get it. You can have all this things, and I'm like,
all these channels.
I ain't got time for all this, bro.
I know. I'm the same way. I go on my son's buddies because they're on gaming, so I go on and game with them. But I have my own, and I never go on it. I think I've been on it like 3 times. Yeah.
I know that you.
I go on Earl's more.
They can pull your IP address from your Discord, and they know everything about where you are, your name, everything.
And
it's like,
interesting.
Hey, I'm not about that, man.
Right.
I'm not about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, you do everything. Every time you hear about anything, it's fucking. You can't answer half your phone calls that you don't know. You can't, like.
I got hacked. I got hacked building the brand on Instagram. I got hacked by a Russian Bitcoin miner. Hacked my shit. And I love that account. That was a good account too, man. That was one of many though, because of being in weed, you lose a lot. But that was like my best account. I was upset.
That's why I only have 2 pictures on this main account on Instagram. Because at that point, I saw everyone's pages being pulled and shit. And I was like, how many posts do I have? Like 1,250 something? I was like, well, I guess it's time to delete. I just went on a mass deletion, and pretty much now I only got 2 pictures, which I'm going to be deleting those 2. I'll have those on the website in the gallery and stuff, so you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm at that point where I'm rebuilding it again slowly this time. I'm not just like non-following. I'm just letting it just build itself kind of thing. I'm not chasing it. I'm not trying to build it. I'm just, if you want to come hang out on Instagram, cool, come hang out. That last one upset me so much because you build a brand, and a lot of you, I mean, Terp, how many times Terp Fiend, he lost his. I mean, he was up 20, 30, 40,000 people, and he's on his 6th or 7th account. So he's lost so many poor guys.
So when you're seeing people's, accounts that have been around for ever and a day, and it's like, somebody's watching somebody around here, and obviously they don't like what they're seeing on people's pages, so.
Right. Or they'll report you. They'll report you a few times.
If I got nothing, how are you going to report me? Report me or what?
Right. So, but if you have stuff and people report your stuff, you're going to get fucking ousted.
I mean, I do have a backup, but I lost backup again.
Yeah. I lost like 3 accounts on TikTok too.
Oh yeah, same here.
Like the
Same
first
here.
one I did, I fucking just started smoking on fucking and TR Tech calls me, because you dumbass, you know you can't smoke on TikTok. They're gonna. I'm like, that's why. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. I just do my shit. So now I just post picture of my dog, and that's it.
Yeah.
Can't get in trouble for that.
I don't even get TikTok because I guess it's like just picture or videos of like 30-second videos or something like that.
It's a little bit of everything. You could do a minute. You could do 5 seconds. You could do just pictures if you want. It's whatever. But I thought it was a cool platform because you do some different shit than on Instagram, and I thought they're going to be weed friendly. And then I found out it was owned by a Chinese company. I'm like, they ain't weed friendly. So
yeah, they don't care about us.
No. So I mean, how do you build a brand on there then? Like, how do you what is like what are you doing to build your brand that you've been doing it for almost 30 years too? So you
I've had
you
this
built it
account
that
on
way.
Instagram since 2015 was my original post. So, like all these are real people. They're not bots or anything like that. Like, but it just takes time. You know what I mean? It's putting out products that other people are growing and they're saying the exact same thing you've been saying. So it's just, confirmation and, you know what I mean? It's just being real with the audience and, your fans and stuff. You know what I mean?
Nice. And most of you breeders that I've seen always answer people too, like when they DM
I try
you and
to.
stuff
I
like that.
try to.
No,
In the DMs, it's kind of hard because some people, it's just a lot harder in the DMs because Instagram's watching. You're like, go ahead and say one word. Go ahead. So I'll be like, email us. Go to the website and the emails are at the top. Just email us.
Yeah, that's smart. So
Linktree is a huge thing for that.
Yeah,
because Linktree you can have you have your account deleted every day, and as long as you update your Linktree, people can still like find all your shit.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Linktree's been good. Been a good one too. Because you can just, that's like your business card, your online business card, where people can find you in every different direction. So
right.
oh fuck
Same
it,
with the QR codes.
Yeah, QR codes are great too. That's another way to build too.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, like probably most of us doing, I call it guerrilla marketing. I still think it's the best marketing ever. It's the cheapest too, where you just go and you one person at a time. It takes a lot longer, but you're building a better following that way than just tossing a bunch of shit out
with other people. You know what I mean? With the same kind of drive and what they want to see out of the plants.
Yeah, 100%. So guerrilla marketing, you might have to do some legwork in the beginning. You might have to go to the expos, and you might have to set up some tables and do some events. Yeah,
I'll be over at the what is it, the Harvest Cup?
There you go.
This weekend, November 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, the 11th. I think it's in Boston. The 11th in Boston or something. Harvest Cup
if you're in Massachusetts and you go to the Harvest Cup, go check out UFO and say hi. Tell them you listen to the show.
I'll be walking around, shooting the shit with people, and
we
were doing lives on Instagram and the website and like stuff like that, and I'd give away because that's what I do. I go to these places, they give me free stuff, and I pretty much give it away to audience. There's like 78 people at one given point, so somebody somewhere is gonna win something.
That's right. I love it.
It helps build other brands, and that's what we do on our website too. You can check that out. We help sponsor smaller companies or even bigger companies.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I said this the other day. I was talking to somebody. Mrs. Weedman and I were at an event on Saturday. We set up. We have you'll see behind me. There's a tray. So Mrs. Weedman created a stainless steel tray, and we go to events and we set up a smoke sesh area where people can come and roll their own joints, and I either hand out weed or we get some people to donate some weed. I call it table weed. Just throw 2 ounces on the table and just come get it. It's table weed. It's good weed, But yeah, just I was talking to somebody and I was saying there's enough money in this for everybody. It all depends on what you want to be in life.
There's enough money in the world to feed every person in here, fucking like
10 times over
100 million or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough money in the world for everybody.
Right. So there's enough money for people that want to get in the cannabis industry and make some money. Are you going to be a billionaire? No. Don't even think like that. Think about making a good, solid
think
living.
big.
A good,
Think
solid
big,
living.
and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And you can't be doing it for the money because it's hard
Money
to
will
understand.
come. The money will come.
Do something you love doing that you do it for fucking free. Take that, the whole concept of what you love doing, and just, you know what I mean? You show it to the world, and people are like, "Oh shit! Like, you got any of those?" Yeah, I got some. You know what I mean? That's how that's how it rolls. You know, people like what you got, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
It
No,
doesn't hurt to not promote. Like, hey, we got shirts, we got hats, we got whatever.
Support it.
And it's nice to have your own website. That's what I
Yeah.
think everybody misses because they try like Shopify and all this shit, and yeah, that's cool, but you can't showcase flour, you can't showcase seeds because of these companies, and they tell you, hey, don't have any of this shit, otherwise you don't have a. I like to have my own shit. I like to be able to do my own shit. So that's why, I say build your own website.
Yeah, and you could do them pretty cheap. If you don't have the money to have someone do it for you, there's plenty of
It's not
websites where
hard.
you can go on. No.
I built this website, and all I did was YouTube, WordPress website, and the whole understanding of the structure. And it's simple, really. It's like building a house. Like, oh, I want a wall over here that leads to another place over here. Like, it's just once you understand it, you're just like, this.
It's like plug and play. Eventually, there's websites where it's
pretty
like
much,
to build. It's just
you
plug
can
and play what you
customize
want.
each page, so your home page, and then you can have, I want to have a link that goes from here to another page.
It's like MySpace.
Yeah, but yours. You know what I mean? Like, it's yours. And nobody can tell, like, oh, you can't put this on there. Like, no, I can.
Yeah, this is mine. Yeah.
You know,
sure.
I heard MySpace is making a comeback. I heard somebody read people are still using it. It's making a comeback because they're letting you do whatever fuck you want on it. I was like, oh, MySpace. Let's all go back. Let's all go back.
I'm going back to MySpace right now, guys.
Let's go back. Let's all go back 20 years.
I remember MySpace, man. That shit was old, bro.
Everybody got one friend though.
Yeah,
everybody got one.
Steve.
Everybody got one. The rest you had to go earn.
Steve was always there for me, man.
So you run a garden, right? You grow your plants. You make the seeds. You have to shuck the seeds. You have to sort them, put them into packs. You have to run your regular life. Your day-to-day job, your kid. What do you do to kind of like keep that in track? How do you keep all that lined up?
Well, if like when you start like, you know what I mean, like when you get up and you're doing a bunch of business and you start to get like, I don't know, like you start dragging like through the day. Go jump in some cold water, bro. Go sit in there for a minute, bro. And I'm telling you, when you get out of that shit, your mind's gonna be so sharp. You're gonna be like, I know exactly what I have to do. How long is it gonna take? Like I've been doing this shit for the past week, bro. Shit's fucking cold. It's just fucking cold, bro.
I fucking hate cold water.
Like seriously, like when you start to like feel like you're just like, I'm just go jump in some cold water, bro.
I can shove my whole entire head from the neck up in there like no problem, but from the waist down,
the whole body, bro. Just jump in there and sit in there. Like you're gonna hyperventilate, but once you understand how to breathe and shit, bro, it's like a fucking high, bro. I'm telling you. Like,
people have been telling me for a long time to do it. I fucking hate cold water.
I hate cold water too, bro. I hate being cold.
The only way I'm gonna do it is if I fucking run and jump in. That's the only way I'm doing it. I'm not gonna
like stuff like, bro, I'm not gonna sit there and set a timer.
Fuck that.
Just
No.
go.
No. I'll run and jump in any lake that's fucking freezing cold because I don't know what's coming. But I know what's coming. I'm sticking my fucking legs in there first. To go down to the fucking lower region of your private area is the worst experience ever. No, thank you. Just tell me to go
Just
jump in
whole
an
body.
ice
You're
lake.
not just doing a little
I'll
part
go
at
jump.
a time. The whole body.
I'll go jump in an ice lake before I fucking do like test my will. Because I got to jump in the lake.
That shit'll get you going, bro. I'm telling you.
I believe it. I've seen people do it. It's just
it's a whole nother level, bro. Whole nother level.
I'm not going in that fucking ice cold bath. Fuck that. I'll shove my head in there. Neck up. You got me. That's easy. I'll stand in there for 10 minutes.
I found doing that shit for the past week. It'll get you thinking straight, and it's like a dopamine strike. It's just like, wow, like, and it lasts for hours.
Give me a smelling salt instead. I'll be fine.
I've been doing that, and I'm telling you, it's definitely helped structure things a lot better. But I mean, it's just you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
No, I'm glad you could do it because I'm just a wimp. So I'm just telling you straight up. I'm so glad you could do it because I'm just not
I've just been doing that for the past week. Like, but before that, it's you just got to do what you got to do, man. You know.
Yeah.
No one's gonna hold your hand through this life, So
that's good mentorship right there. What he just said. Say it one more time. UFO.
No one's gonna hold your hand through this life, so you gotta.
That's so good.
Put her down.
Mental capacity. It's seeing something that you want, and you just literally have to keep telling yourself this is what you want. Like, and you're gonna have to work for it. It ain't gonna come to you. You're gonna have to put the work in, but you'll get something out of it.
Yeah, and if it's your passion,
you're kind of working on faith, or in blindness. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't know. It could be 2 years. It could be 3 years. It could be 4. You don't know how long it's going to take. But know that you're not just working for nothing.
Nobody successful did it overnight. You ask any successful person, most successful people didn't get there. They started. It took them anywhere between 5 to 20 years to get to where. I mean, it's not easy. You're gonna have the hills and valleys in the first 5 years. Most small businesses don't make it, and breeders like yourselves are small business owners. So one day you'll be able to do write-offs and have all the good stuff one day once they federally legalize it and get it off all the bullshit. But anyway, because you're small business owners and you can do a lot as a small business owner because you'll understand once you look at the tax laws. They're written for small business owners. This country was founded on it, and every breeder, seed breeder, and every grower should have the opportunity to be self-employed, be able to get write-offs. Because if you work from your, I say this to Big Earl all the time. I'm like, dude, you work from your home. You're a caregiver, and you can't even write off your home because you can write off a lot of business expenses from your house as being a small business owner because you have your office and you have your workspace.
All you have to do is have a room that did. I think it's like 500 or not 500. Something square feet. It was ridiculous. Like, it was puny as fuck. And all you have to have is a set amount of space in your house that you can stuff as much stuff as you can into it, and that's your office. You work from home, and you can start writing off certain things like cars and you know what I mean, like business trips and shit like that.
Yeah, you have to show that you're making income though, but you get all those write-offs.
That's why you have your own website and use social media to tell people, hey, this is what I have over here. Like, that's why I don't try to keep pictures on my main profile. I have another one just that promotes, other businesses and shit like that. Like, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I think a lot of people kind of get stuck in that Instagram rut, and that's huge. Having the website, having anything else to go to that's and broadening that and realizing there's going to be some time into it.
So it's kind of why I want to build the social media on the website. So you're not just going to a website. You can go to the website and buy things, or you can go to the website and go onto the social media, which will be called Portal, and you'll be able to post whatever, as long as it's none of this fucking child porn shit or fucking other drugs besides weed, fucking care.
Yeah. Hey,
It is
I mean,
what
it
it
should.
is, you know. Like I want to be able to make it so people can go there too, and not just because we'd be able to do lives, just like Instagram lives and stuff like that. So
The live shows you have are super cool. The couple I've seen, they were really fun. I was telling Mr. Weedman, we both seen them, and it was like we were like,
yeah.
The horse racing
Saturday
is
night.
fucking badass.
It was
No,
like,
it's
I was
you know I like doing that shit because I like to
I think
have
it's
people
fun as
like
hell.
you guys come on and stuff like that, and it's to interact with other people and a lot of other things you can't really interact with people. It's just you, and that's it. Like you have to be the entertainer.
yeah.
That's why we do the YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and our website. So you try to get out into everything. You know what I mean?
There's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot
Yeah.
that can take over your world too. I mean, I'm trying to keep up. Just it's not. It's to me, it's not feasibly possible to keep up with all the social media stuff.
Yeah.
I try to be consistent on one or maybe two, but it's hard. It's hard. You're gonna see if you start your
Well,
own
that's why you
business.
just
Like
link them all together. So when you post here, you go to the rest of them. So link them
no,
all together, bro. It makes it so much simpler. That's why I linked all the lives together. So pretty much um I'm coming from the website, but I'm also going to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and so forth. So I'm streaming
Yeah.
from one, but I've attacked fucking 8 separate platforms.
ooh,
Yeah. Cool.
you need to DM me how to do that. That'd be great.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Because
Like,
I want simplicity in my life. I can't. It's just hard to go to like fucking 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 social media websites in a day. It's like it's physically. I just
yeah.
and two realistically, I don't want to do it because it just takes up
It's
your
a lot
life.
more work, and
It takes up your life. It could take up your life. And if there was one app that I could just go to one and like you just said, and it goes to everything. Oh gosh, simplicity in my life. That's time wasted. There's so much time wasted in a day where you could be doing other things, like enjoying your plants, spending time with your family, going out and doing things that you enjoy doing. Maybe going
just
for a
link
walk.
like your Facebook to your Instagram, and it is what it
Yeah.
is,
It's awesome.
Right.
You think I have the time
So
to post every single one of them?
yeah.
Nope.
Well, that's when you said that too. I remembered on the Saturday night shows, it would say on there people were from different apps, right? Where like they had like
Mhm.
little symbols by their names or something.
Yeah, it'd be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I couldn't see who was typing, but the hashtag game worked from all platforms. So until
Oh,
they fix that with the communication between Instagram and the platform, I would have to have Instagram open and the live.
yeah.
But I mean, they said it's like
So
Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, I believe. I'm not sure, but I mean, there's a lot of them.
yeah,
There is.
what's all the important
There's
ones?
like 8 or 9 of them, and I'm just like, and I only did that with the live. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can reach 9 different platforms from one. Like, yeah, I do this.
Yeah.
How many people you normally get on all the different platforms at once when you do those? When you do those?
Sometimes we'll hit like 80s, high 80s, low 90s, but there are people popping in and popping out. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, one time I think we had 1,700 people
Damn,
for
that's
the
fucking
hour and a half.
badass. That's a
So,
party.
I
That's a
mean,
party. That's a party right there.
yeah,
That's
I
a
mean, it
fucking
wasn't
horse
all at
race right
once.
there.
It's just in and out. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
That's fun as hell.
Were
That's
you
a
doing a
party.
horse race on that one?
what was that?
Were you doing a horse race on that one? Was that list just
Oh,
all
I
the
don't
way
know which
down?
one that was. I don't normally keep the videos because it takes up space on StreamYard, something like that. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, because you get like 50 gigs. I'm just like, I don't really need
That takes up a lot.
it. You know what I mean? Like,
All right. One last seed question, just real soon, one last time.
yeah.
Does it scare you ever to ship or receive seeds when it's really hot out?
No.
No, those couple days in the mailbox or those couple days on the truck, you don't think that matters at all in the mail?
I wouldn't say 3 or 4 days would
Cool.
damage anything per se. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it would. I would
I've
have
never
to
noticed that either. I just didn't know.
assume it would have to be in a long exposure of high heat that would probably
Yeah.
really damage. Pretty much cook them.
Well, and they're in a sealed pack usually in another little piece. Like it's not like it's an exact. But yeah, cool. Fuck yeah.
UFO, brother. It was such a pleasure to have you on the show. Such a
Hell
pleasure.
yeah.
Tell everybody where they can find you on that one platform to get you to all 9. Where can we find you?
Well, that's StreamYard, and you're only streaming to those 9.
Gotcha.
So you could do your podcast to those 9, and those places will automatically record for you because you're posting.
That's pretty dope.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would use it for. But
what's your website?
Our website is UFOincorporated.com. It's all one word, UFOincorporated.com. You can find us on Instagram at u.f.o_genetics. Facebook's the same thing. TikTok's the same thing. Pretty much all.
Sweet. You got anything? You got anything coming out that we should be watching out for?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to leave it at that.
Uh-oh. So everybody out there in the world, you need to make sure you check out his
we're hunting
handles.
through the 99 octane right now, which is the pre-99 sour diesel BX to the blackberry octane.
Oh.
So she definitely gonna find something fucking nice out of that shit. We're gonna reverse it, run them, find something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause I think right now the people are looking for more femmes than regs. I've never been a big fan of femmes, but that's where everyone wants.
I've had this talk with a few breeders about it. It's just the home grows with the small grows, like myself, small tents could fit 3-4 plants.
They get males, and I get it.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. What just happened with me, a big girl. I planted four seeds. Three of them. Well, I don't know if the other one's a female yet, but 3 of them were males. Boom, right off the bat, and it happens. And you're in 6 weeks. You're in 6 weeks. So you take it from somebody like myself, small tent, 2x4x6 tent. He wants to turn and burn. Get a grow every 75, 90 days. I'll even do the whole 120 if they're females. I don't care. But I just want to make sure I'm just making sure I'm getting 2 fucking females. Right. I at least want 2 females. You know what I'm saying? Out of the group. So if it's a photo and I get 3 males, and it was the 3 seeds in the pack.
6 weeks invested for nothing, right?
Yeah, you got to start all over. Big girls always taught me, man, make sure you plant 5. Make sure you plant 5. Make sure you plant 5. You're going to at least get 1 female. I got none. I only planted 3. I should have took his advice this time, and I didn't. But yeah, you have to. So you got to understand something. It's just for the people, for the time. You said it, 6 weeks vested. Boom. Now you got to start all over. Now you know the 6 weeks before you find out again. So it's just
it's a convenience.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't have a giant place to do what I love doing. I was in the same spot. It sucks, but
people aren't. But people are.
You know what I mean? The hunt is on.
And people are into hunting, and they're hunting because they want to smoke. They're not into breeding. They're not into. They just want to grow good weed to smoke, so they don't have to go to the dispensary and buy it. Nothing where we're going to the dispensary if you go, but home growing is something special. I love smoking my own grow. And I love sharing with friends and family and loved ones and people who I get to hang out with. I give more weed out than I think I smoke. So I mean, my wife makes everything we make edibles, and we give out edibles to hundreds of people who need it. Friends, family, people. Yeah. So I mean, that's just what I like to do. I'm not in it for the breeding. I'm in it for the experience of letting people try good weed. So I'm not looking to grow the greatest weed ever. I just want to grow good weed that people enjoy. That's it. That's what I think most home growers want. If you're a home grower and you're thinking you're going to grow the best all-time weed out there, a little small tent, don't kid yourself. You're growing it because you want to grow good weed for you and other people to enjoy.
That's not the case. Sometimes
not the case.
Home growers, those little 4x4 tents with a couple little LEDs that you bought off of eBay, be dropping some nice pics on Instagram.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying if you're a home grower just starting out, you're not getting in it to try to be the best, get the best weed ever. That's going to take some time, some development. That's all I'm saying. You could probably have some. I've smoked some fucking phenomenal home grow, phenomenal, unbelievable shit. Like really good. It's like sometimes you with craft brewers. Sometimes you like home brewers and stuff. You got some people that really knew how to home brew, and you're like, ooh, this is good. So it's just like that. I just want people. The expectation is when you're first starting out, just learn the plant, right? For not even just breeding. We talked about breeding and seeding, but some
internet at the tips of your fingers. Use them.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I bet most people burn about 5 hours just scrolling on Instagram or wherever you guys are. Use 2 of those hours to find out how to grow.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a ton of books, a ton of podcasts, a ton of just people you can follow, and just, that's the best thing ever. Is you find some breeders.
Email us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know everything. I don't think anybody does know everything because
no, and that's all I'm trying to say. Learn to grow good smokable weed, and then learn to grow really good weed, and then you'll be happy. And then you won't have to buy anything ever again.
I've never been to a dispensary.
You're like the second or third person I've talked to that haven't been to one. So, I mean, if you don't have to go, you don't have to go. Nothing wrong if you got to go. But if you don't have to go, if you can grow at home, you're going to be in a whole different world. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Why feminized seeds are so important to people nowadays, because it's time. It's just, they just want, and but yeah, I really appreciate you being on the show, man. I really do. It was an honor and a pleasure.
You guys. It was some fun. It was fun.
So Earl, man, I got this problem in my tent right now. And dude, it's fucking got some issues because I was just talking about how my 3 plants went to bye-bye. What do I got to do to bring them back?
Well, we talked about feminize. I know it's not what the show is about, but if you need to feminize, if you have a problem with the male, spray some CalMag on it. And
right on the male, bro. I'm telling you.
Right on the male.
Complete reversal.
Complete reversal. Always CalMag.
Everybody out there in the world, don't forget the CalMag. Peace.
Bye.
Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome, long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.